When I'm hiring announcers, play-by-play or analysts, a lot of times I get what they call highlight reels sent to me. And everyone can call a really great touchdown call, and everyone can be really excited, and it can sound really awesome. And so what I always then reply back to, again, announcers, analysts, sideline guys, is give me 7 minutes of nothing happening. And I'm going to listen to see if in those 7 minutes, when it's just a long drive, not a lot happens, there's no scoring, there's a couple of turnovers, but there's not anything really sensational going on, can you keep me entertained? Can you teach me something about the game that I didn't know when I was going into this? Anyone can be like, touchdown, great, it's wonderful. And you've all practiced your touchdown calls and your highlight calls and everything. I don't care. That part means nothing to me. I know that part means a lot to you or what you think it's supposed to mean, but I need to know that if I'm a 55-year-old guy and I'm listening to a random football game on the radio and I'm driving cross country and I'm listening to you, are you going to keep me engaged when there's not something going on that I can go, you know what, he's teaching me a lot about the game that I didn't know before, or hey, that's really interesting, I didn't realize that. And that goes back to you being prepared. You saying, hey, this guy went to this college and he struggled because of this, and did you know, and you know, this all goes back to those tidbits that you're not necessarily going to Google, or people are going to even want to or know until they hear it, and then they go, hey, I learned something right now. That's what I want to hear. That's what I'm looking for. I get asked a lot if homers are good or bad for broadcasts, and I can tell you that I've worked on both sides doing local broadcasts and national broadcasts, and my honest answer is yes and no. If you are just a diehard fan and you don't care what's happening on the other side of the ball and only what's going on with your team, then homers are a great thing, you know. If you are a fan who just wants to hear a good called game, listening to a homer is one of the most horrifying things that you could ever do. And, you know, I've gotten called on it on both sides, where I've done a national type broadcast and I've had fans call in saying they're being unfair to X team, and, you know, those are the guys that are looking for the homers. And then I've had local broadcasts that have gone on and I've got people calling in going, wait a minute, what's, you know, what is this? It's the, you know, XYZ show. And I think it depends on personal style. Personally, for me, I don't like the homer broadcast. I don't think you get a good picture. I don't think it does the fans justice to tell them just what they want to hear. I have a good example. I will not give any names, but I was producing a game. It was a homer broadcast, and my play-by-play guy set up the analyst saying, you know, they're in a little bit of a pickle right now, coach. What do you think you should do here? And coach said, I think he'll make the right call. That does nothing for me. That offers me nothing. You have now made me dumber because you have given me nothing. And so just keep that in mind. If you're going to be a part of a homer broadcast, which many of you might, at least offer something. Don't just go with it. That's my opinion on that. You're going to have a box in front of you that has a talk back and a cough button. And you need to train yourself that you may not be able to help yourself by yelling out and getting excited, but when you do, please do not ruin the play-by-play guy's call when you do it. There is a button there that will mute you, and if you've got to yell and do whatever you've got to do, that's great, but do it off the air, because there's nothing worse than hearing a highlight call and having an analyst going over it with whatever excitement that they have at that moment. It really ruins the call. When it comes to submitting your work to anyone, or me in particular, I'm a little bit old school. I do not want, hey Michelle, here's my work, click this link, and then 8,000 other links or things that I have to listen to. That takes up a lot of my time, then, to be honest. I don't want to do it. I don't want to click through. So I would rather you send me a 2-minute MP3 saying, here's my highlights. Obviously, I'm going to tell you I want more than that. And here's just a random, 2 minutes of me participating within a call. Because I'll hear your highlights. But I really want to hear, like I said, I want to hear what you have to say when nothing is happening. How did you fill that time? How did you make me learn? How did you keep me entertained? After all, this is the entertainment business. Most of these people are using these games as a part of escapism. Keep them informed, keep them entertained. So for me, a link that says, here's my professional page, and here are my pictures, and here's all this, and here's, I don't care. I don't care. That's wasting my time. And probably whoever you decided to, or the time that you did to make up that page, it doesn't, for me, do anything. I just want to hear the nitty gritty. Give me an MP3, or better yet, send me an email and say, hey, do you have a Dropbox, or do you have a You Send It account or something that I can just shoot something over with, and then you just give me that direct link that I can click on, listen to it, and say yay or nay. Because if I've got to click on a link and listen, I probably won't to fish through things. It's probably not going to happen. So there's a couple of things that you don't do when you're interviewing with people. You don't bring your wife and ask if she can come along on trips with you. That's happened before. Not kidding. You don't, when someone offers you a refreshment, and I'm just telling you from personal experience, things that have happened to me when I've been interviewing people. You don't say when someone says, can I get you something, you don't, in a formal setting, go, I'll have a cheeseburger, and make me scramble to find you a cheeseburger. Not going to happen. Although I did get him the cheeseburger. He didn't get the job, but you don't automatically ask also, especially if you're just starting out, what's in it for me. You don't ask, in reality, how long do I really have to study to be, good at this. You don't ask, what's the bare bones minimum you need from me? How long do I really need to stay in each city? Any of those things, and I get it, because you guys are former players and you're busy and you have other things to do, but now you're starting off at ground zero. So I expect you to come in and put the work in. Yeah, when you become Troy Aikman, maybe you can be like, I'm not doing this right now, but you're not. And so when you're coming in at the bottom, you need to pretend, like I said, like it's your rookie year and you don't know anything, and now you need to learn the ropes. The one little other thing that I would tell you, Ahal, is that for me, and I can't really speak for everyone else, but I kind of know everyone else's situation, or most of their situations. We're busy, and we get bombarded with play-by-play tapes, analyst tapes, sideline tapes, anything you name. We get bombarded all the time, and my biggest thing, and the people that I've actually given the chances, or the most chances to, are the ones who, when I say, listen, I don't have anything right now, but give me a call in a month or two, let me see if something changes, they actually call me in a month or two, and I still might blow them off. But then in 2 months later that they call me again, and I still might blow them off. And then 2 months after that, they call me again, and all of a sudden I have something. But they're the, one or two that have actually persisted, and it shows me that they care and that they're dedicated. And at that point, you're back at the top of the pile, and you don't get buried underneath all of the other submissions that we get. So I know it may seem like it's annoying, and kind of it is, but I've always hired the annoying people at the end of the day. If you're annoying, I hire you. I like your persistence, so keep it up. So when it comes to pay, as far as radio is concerned, you're probably not going to get rich off of it. You could do well, and of course, college broadcasts definitely are different than NFL broadcasts, and the type of money that they pull in general, which goes into the budget, in which people are able to then pay you with. It's not that we don't think you're worth a lot, but it's how it works is we've got to sell things, and then from that we've got a budget, and then we get a budget to pay you with. And a lot of times the budget is out of the hiring person's hands. So again, don't ever take offense to something that or a number that someone offers you. But if you're kind of a middle-of-the-road guy, and no offense to any of you that are, but, you know, maybe they'll say to you, hey, you've never done anything before. We're going to give you $1,000 a game to prove yourself. And maybe next year we'll bump you up to $1,500, which sounds like crap. I get it. But you're also, you know, you got the rest of your week to do whatever you're going to do anyway. And you got to think of it as building your brand and getting your name out there and gaining the experience. I didn't offer Curtis Conway a lot when he started because he never did it before, but there was something about him. He was charismatic. He had a hunger and a drive in him, and within a year he was on the Pac-12 network because they heard my broadcasts. So he got his payday later on. So I will just tell you that there's always start someplace, and nothing is ever too low. I have another sideline guy who I'm paying nothing, but he wants to be part of the broadcast, and it's getting him exposure, and now he has his own radio show because of it. That's a good thing, you know? So don't be offended. That's all I'm going to say about that.